Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Joey Knight Jr. here, and today we are doing another comic review, and this time we have Bloodruth issue number 1 from the Rippaverse. And ladies and gentlemen, Jen and Sylvia Saska outdid themselves with this one. When they said that, it was going to be a horror comic, it lives up to whatever expectations you may have if you know Jen and Sylvia's work from beforehand, whether it's their movies or Black Widow or whatever else they've done. I say it will definitely meet those expectations if you had any going in. Now, if you're one of those people who's kind of held off on the pre-order and was waiting, because, cover D is always the one that they're going to have in stock, you're kind of thinking like, oh, well, can my younger kid read this or whatever? Me personally, I would give this comic like a hard, 15, 16 age bracket, okay, they can read this or whatever. But as far as little 9-year-old Timmy or whatever, maybe not. But that doesn't disregard the fact that this was a great comic book, great story told. Now, if you're also hoping that it's a continuation of when we last saw her in ISOM 2, it is not. This is a spoiler-free review, however, though. All I will say, though, is that it is a prequel to where we saw her in ISOM 2. We kind of figure out and see how she got to the point to where she was at in ISOM 2. But we do see a few Rippaverse-friendly, familiar face characters and everything else. A couple of them, I will say this, she does figure out a way to make enemies out of by the end of the book. That is the only thing you're getting, though, is that it's before ISOM 2. We do get some characters, and she does figure out how to make some familiar face enemies by the end of the book. But yeah, I got cover D. That's the one y'all saw right there. And then, of course, I got my cover A like I usually do. I always get 2 of each comic that gets released. I get a cover A to keep, sealed in the packaging and everything else. And then cover D is always my reading one. But this time I also did get a black and white edition because it was a lot cheaper and it looked really cool. I normally don't do, get all the covers of everything, but I made an exception to get 3 covers of Bloodruth for this one because the black and white cover was sick looking. But yeah, outside of that, great story told with Bloodruth. I can't wait to see where the story goes from there because it has been confirmed that we are getting a Bloodruth 2. So that just, it just excites me. She is definitely a powerful person and a powerful person to be reckoned with within the Rippaverse. And her powers do come at a cost. I will say that her using her powers does come at a cost to her, and it does come into play in the comic. That's all I really say, because after all, I do want to keep the spoiler free for the people, because fulfillment, I believe, I'm recording this on Tuesday, March the 4th, and I believe fulfillment completed a few days ago. So I know not everyone has gotten a chance to read their books yet. So I don't want to say anything spoilerly outside of what I already kind of said that, is so-so on if you call it spoilery or not. But yeah, great book by the Saskas. They did wonderful, tremendous work once again. Just back-to-back bangers. They had Yaira 1, now Bloodruth 1, and we're getting, second issues of both films, which I am looking very much so forward to. But now, as far as where do I rank Bloodruth in my ranking, as I did last time of all the Rippaverse books, I would put Bloodruth in the number 2 slot. So what that means now is Yaira's still number 1, but Bloodruth has now knocked Horseman out the number 2 spot. So it goes Yaira number 1, Bloodruth number 2, Horseman number 3, ISOM 2 at 4, then Alpha Court number 5, then ISOM 1 at 6, and then Gooding at number 7. That's how my Rippaverse comic book ranking is going so far. I'll probably stop it at some point, naming every single comic and everything once we get to a place where where we have just way too many comics to do that, which is probably looking like we'll have that by the end of the year. With the rate the Rippaverse is coming out with books now, just so many pre-orders on lock right now, and they're going to get fulfilled pretty quickly because that's just how Eric July and the Rippaverse do. But yeah, if you were hesitant on the book because it's a horror comic, if you're a horror fan, you're definitely going to enjoy it. If it was something more of like for like you want it for your like 6, 7, 8, 9-year-old kid, probably not. You know, little bit older, you know, hold out on that for a few more years. But outside of that, great book, great story, great expansion on the character we saw in ISOM number 2. Overall, I'd probably give it like a solid like 9 out of 10 as far as just everything encapsulated in that comic. But yeah, that's my review for Bloodruth issue number 1. Let me know in the comments below if you've read Bloodruth number 1, what you thought about the comic and where she ranks as far as your Rippaverse characters. And I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.